And there's so much noise. People talk about lease options, buy-to-lets, BRR, vanilla buy-to-lets, turnkey, lease options, all these different strategies, commercial conversions, HMO, SAs, rent to SAs, rent to HMO. There is a ton of strategies out there. So where do you get started? The blue property over there was the first property I ever bought up here. This is the next guest house that I bought. It took double the time to do the refurb. We had complaints from the neighbours. This is going to be an SA unit. Again, more complex planning involved. This is my first commercial conversion I've done up here. So welcome back to my channel. In this video today, I'm going to be giving you a beginner's guide to getting into property. So there's so many strategies out here, so we're going to give you a bit of a guide on what strategies you pick. I'm actually up here in my Goldmine location, so we're going to assume that you've already got a location. If you haven't got a location, make sure you watch this video how to pick your Goldmine location. But I invest remotely 250 miles away, and I'm up here at the moment. I'm about to do an on-patch training day. I'm in my office, getting ready, getting set up to train a load of eager people that want to learn how to do the BRR strategy. So if you want to join me on an on-patch training day, make sure you put in the comments on-patch training day, and I'll give you a list to join the waiting list for next time when we announce the next on-patch training day. But with that aside, how do you get started in property? Where do you start? What do you do? In this video, we're going to cover it all. But before we cover that, make sure you hit that like button to help the algorithms out. But before we get into this, make sure you hang around on this video, because after I've done this little whiteboard demonstration, I'm going to actually take you out on the street showing you your different style properties and the different levels of where you be. So make sure you hang around and watch on for a little bit more, because I'm going to take you on patch. So as I said, there's so many strategies to pick from. I remember when I started in 2009, it was literally just buy to let that most people even thought of. Internet isn't what it is today. Back then, YouTube and all these different channels, and there's so much noise. People talk about lease options, buy to lets, BRR, vanilla buy to lets, turnkey, lease options, all these different strategies, commercial conversions, HMO, SAs, rent to SAs, rent to HMO. There is a ton of strategies out there. So where do you get started? So what I'm going to do is, first of all, eliminate some of the strategies to start with. So rent to rent and rent to SA, deal sourcing, all these things is not property investing, it's property trading. What you're doing is you're trading your time to earn an income from property. It's not an investment. It's a great strategy to do to earn income, but it's not property investing. So on this, we're going to talk about wealth building via property investing. And the first thing you need to do is you've got to start with the end in mind. What do you want to be? Because everybody's got a different path. I know loads of people out there will say, well, this is what I've done. So if you cookie cut and follow the steps I've done, you'll be able to achieve what I've achieved. But we've got different circumstances, different lives. So we've got to find out where we are and what we want to be in life. And what I've done, I model Robert Kiyosaki. If you've never heard of Robert Kiyosaki, go away and maybe get off this channel, I'd say, because he's the Bible. Rich Dad Poor Dad is the Bible of self-development and self-personal investment. It talks about investing in assets, recurring income assets. So that's why I'm dismissing deal sourcing and rent to rent, because that's not reoccurring income, that's active income. There's nothing wrong with them, by the way, but we're talking about wealth building and property investing. And what he done is he had another book alongside Rich Dad Poor Dad, what he called Cash Flow Quadrant. And in Cash Flow Quadrant, he said there's 4 different types of investors, and this made me really start thinking, yeah, like 4 different types of people. He called them, each quadrant was like this. Each quadrant was like this. So he had your, let me remember it rightly, you had your E's and your S's, which is your employees and your self-employed, and you had your B's and your I's, which is your business owners and your investors. And it got me thinking, I was thinking, property is very much like this as well. There's 4 different types of property investors. You've got your hands-free, you've got your side hustle, you've got your solopreneur and entrepreneur property investor. So what you need to do is figure out where you want to be. Often you start on this left side of the quadrant, and everybody's got a different mindset in each one of these quadrants, and it's fine to be in any part of these quadrants. So I've got my friend, he owns a chiropractic clinic, he's a health coach, he's a business owner, he loves health, he's got no time for property, so he's a hands-free property investor. He pays my company to do everything for him. He's never even seen the properties, he just wants to know, is it a good return on his capital? Are you going to look after tenants? If the answer to them, both of them questions is yes, and he's got the funds, he buys a property. So that's the perfect part of the quadrant for him. Some people start there and then progress through to side hustle. This means when you start doing it, you've got your 9-to-5 job or your business, and you do it on the side as a side hustle. So I know a guy that works for Google, he loves his job, he apparently Google's the best, if not one of the best employers in the world. So he absolutely loves doing what he does. So he don't want to give up his job, but he does enjoy going to network events, reading the books, getting a bit involved as a side hustle, but he does not want to give up his main job for that. Now, I know loads of people stuck in the solopreneur. This is when you are the business, you do everything. And the thing is, the mindset, most people get stuck there. It's okay if you enjoy it, but most people are knowing being a solopreneur as a property investor. Just do it because they can't let go of things, they can't outsource things, it's their mindset they've got. But this is when you do everything yourself. You check in tenants, you do the viewings to buy the properties, you fix the leaky taps, you manage the tenants. That's a solopreneur. And then there's entrepreneur. And as it happens, entrepreneur has got two levels to this. You've got over here, you've got empire builder and you've got lifestyle entrepreneur. So entrepreneur is when you set up the systems and processes to be able to run and operate without you. So you can hire staff without you, you can view properties and buy properties without you. So if you went on one of Elon Musk's missions to Mars, and you come back, your business wouldn't just be there, because an investment portfolio could potentially be there if there's letting managers managing it. But I mean, it's still growing as a business. It's a proper thriving business, not just an investment. So you've got to think to yourself, where do I want to be? If you want to be an entrepreneur, that means you've got to put in a ton of effort. And you can't get this overnight status. I want to be entrepreneur lifestyle. I don't want to be an empire builder. I want to be lifestyle. When I started, I thought I wanted to be an empire builder, but the reality is I like my lifestyle, I like my family. I'm not going to trade off that and be that selfish to do that. I was reading Relentless, Eddie Earn's book the other week, and I see him on an interview as well. And he said, look, to get to that prime level, you've got to be selfish. And he said, you forgo like relationships, your family and everything. And he said that you won't get to that ultimate level, but you can get to a lifestyle business and benefit from that without just going that extreme and have, for me, the best of both. So pick where you want to go. Any part of this quadrant's fine, but usually you have to start on this side and then progress through to here. Nobody never starts here. Unless you're already a business owner already and you've sold a business and you know how to run a business and you just set up from day one as a business. But often you have to start either hands-free or side hustle until you earn enough money to get out your job, and then into solopreneur and into entrepreneur. And the path for you is going to be different depending where you want to go. So we really need to identify that. Once you've identified that as well, then you've got to pick what property strategy you're into. So I talk about this all the time. This is the Delta Property Matrix. So this is how you build sustainable wealth in property. This is the matrix of buy-to-lets, HMOs, service accommodation, commercial conversions, and developments. This is the foundation of building multiple streams of income from property. But you can't do all these at the same time. And all these are relevant to where you are in your journey. So how you figure out, where do I start? Some people got transferable skills and can start further up here. But the higher you go up, the higher the reward, but also the higher the risk. So you need to make sure you can manage that risk and you've got the experience to deliver on these more complex, riskier projects. So most people, not everybody, are better off starting with buy-to-lets. What I'm going to do, as I said already, I'm going to take you out and show you the first buy-to-lets I was buying in my remote Goldmine location. I'm on a busy road, sorry about the noise in the background. My shop's on a busy road. But look, buy-to-lets is where most people should cut their teeth and get used to it. And how you figure out, can I send up higher quicker, is asking yourself these questions. The power of your questions, the power of your results. Ask yourself from 0 to 10, how much money have I got? How much knowledge have I got? Knowledge and experience is one thing. How much network have I got? I've got the builders, the architects, like if you're going up here, commercial conversion developments, you need tax planners, builders, architects, architectural planners, consultants. You need a whole right solicitors. You need a bigger network of this. So you've got to ask what your network's like. How much time you got to deliver this? And at the bottom here, we've got CCC, which stands for courage, confidence, conviction. Because if you don't convict on what you know, you're never going to do anything. And most reasons most people don't do stuff is, Tony Robbins said this, 80% is psychology and 20% is strategy. And the psychology of taking action. And when it becomes more overwhelming, the further you go up here, and the more overwhelming, the more scary it is. So some people naturally got the confidence to do things and some people haven't. And if you haven't, if you're low on this, then you really want to start on this stuff to build the confidence up and get the income from it. Also, the banks are probably going to want to see you doing that. But again, look, if you're high on coverage and confidence and you're high on money, you can probably start a little bit further up. Or you might be good on network because you are building, you've got a load of other builder friends, or you might be a surveyor already, a transferable skill, or your knowledge might be fairly high because you've got a fantastic mentor. I wouldn't do a commercial conversion off of a weekend mentoring course, or even I do a 6-week course. I wouldn't do a commercial conversion just for a 6-week course. If you have never done anything like this before, you've got to get a mentor to hold your hand all the way through it. So get a mentor for like 6 months or maybe a year. Then your network and your knowledge is vicariously supported off the mentor you get. But don't just do this off a YouTube video. Some people have said you've got transferable skills maybe, but you've got 0 of those. Start here, build yourself up, build your confidence up, build your wealth up. Banks will look at you differently. Banks are not going to lend you on a commercial conversion on your first project unless you've got some partner or some reason to persuade them to do that. But this is the fundamental behind how you get started. But let's go at this and show you the first investments that I bought in my remote Goldmine location. So this is like your foundational sort of stuff, what I was talking about on that Delta Matrix. The blue property over there was the first property I ever bought up here. I bought it for 40k or 41k I think it was. And I remember getting it refurbished, done a buy refurbished with his finance, got it revalued at 60k, pulled all my money out and a little bit on top. Hard to do that now. I think we viewed one on this street just a little while ago and they're going for 60k's and it needed a bigger refurb and I bought that now. So you can't pick them up for 40s anymore. But even at 60k's, it's this sort of foundational, low level, low mortgage, covered by housing benefits style, foundational sort of properties. Now I'm gonna go around and show you one of the next levels up, the HMO sort of style ones. Let's go and have a look at this. So this is, again, on the Delta Matrix, this is the type of stuff, this is the next guest house that I've bought and we're turning this into HMO, all en suite HMO. It's a little bit further up, and the reason it's further up, I had lots of challenges on this property. It took double the time to do the refurb. We had complaints from the neighbours, and this is going to be an SA unit, again, more complex, planning involved, builders, it's complex on the build. So this is a little bit more advanced. I've got that foundation underneath it to support me doing stuff like this, but it's going to be a higher return as well. So this is this style one. Let's take you over to another style one on the Matrix. So this on the Delta Matrix is, we just come out of the shop and this is my first commercial conversion I've done up here. We bought this as a one big shop and a 1-bedroom flat. We turn upstairs into a 2-bedroom flat and we turn a flat under permitted development at the back. And again, that's a little bit further up. And we had challenges again with this, with builders, we've going through the planning and getting the planning right. But again, great cash flowing asset as a commercial conversion, but that's a little bit further up on that property Delta Matrix. So look, hope you enjoyed this video on different types of property Delta Matrix. Have a watch of this video as well. We take you around a few other ones that we've done in and around these sort of styles. Listen, thank you so much for being here on this channel. Supporting this channel is really growing as a thanks to all you. So if you've not done it already, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit the bell icon so you get notified when we record these. At the moment, we're releasing these on a Thursday and a Saturday. And we're going to add an extra video into that very soon, so look out for that. And remember, if you don't evolve your ideas, you never live on your own terms. So evolve your ideas, live on your own terms. Have an amazing day.